What, just have a wander back? It's still not in the picture though, Mel. Still, do I need to just go in the sea there, Mel?
He's too
all right?
tall.
Still, just go that way a bit?
Maybe, I'll tell you what, if we bring one of those around here and we'll sit on it. Oh!
You're having an absolute shocker here, aren't you? It's taken 2.5 minutes and we've not got very far.
No.
Well, that's a good start. That's at least a positive start. You need to push the play button. That would help. So yeah, we're good.
I'll have you know I'm a professional.
So you keep saying. I can tell this is going to be quite entertaining.
It's up to you.
This might be the new Barat and thingy, but this might be it.
Oh my God! Oh, you think you're up to Barat's level?
God no. Do
Right.
not even go there. I'm nowhere near that genius.
Sorry, what are these? Oh, look at these tickets on yourself, huh?
Oh, I'm nowhere near that genius. He's good.
Yeah, I noticed that you said, yeah, your colleague Barat is hilarious. Didn't say that about me.
Well, one of them's got to be funny, right? It's only taken us 1 minute and 15 and we've still not even
This is
spoken.
the best bit.
I know, this
The
is the
interview
point
will
for
probably
real.
be really boring.
Oh,
This is like definitely the best bit.
Well, you've already made me walk back to the ocean twice, so it's...
I'll make you go all the bloody way and keep going if you're not careful.
Nice. Right.
Right.
Okay, game face. Serious.
Serious. Well, as you know, I've been getting to know a few of the Scottish players while they're out here in Antigua training, and some of them are staying on for the cool and smooth T20 explosion, including this man here, Michael Leask. And I was taking a lot of work to get him to agree to do this because he's very well known as the quietest and the shyest member of the Scotland team. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Don't think it takes much to get me talking, I think, Mel.
Do you know, all the others warned me and said, oh, good luck when they found out I was interviewing you. Why is that?
Yeah, I'm not shy of a conversation, to be honest. I like chatting everything cricket, just life. I'm just quite a happy-go-lucky person and just generally don't mind having a conversation.
Yeah, so you did mention Barat. You told me the other night that you actually watch our videos. That was a big surprise.
Yeah.
You and our mothers.
Yeah. So now you've got 3 people who watch it. No, I do. I tend to watch a lot of cricket videos when we're away at like tournaments. It kind of makes it feel more like a tournament, to be honest. So not just getting in the flow of the tournament, you kind of get the vibe of everything that's going on in other cities, and actually it makes it feel a lot more like you're involved in what's actually going on for me.
You basically have been cricket nuffy, aren't you?
Yeah, huge. I mean, I know most about everything in cricket. Follow everyone's like stats and all that. I'm a bit of a cricket badger, as you would say.
Well, okay, yeah, badger, nuffy, anorak, take your pick. Well, how's the tour been for you so far? Obviously, meeting me as a big fan has been a big highlight for you.
Absolutely, but challenging. The conditions have been challenging for our guys, I would say. The first 250 over games were particularly tough. I don't think we quite knew how the best way to go about it. We tried to play our brand, it didn't quite work. But getting to the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, it's been a lot more at ease for our guys because it's a little bit nicer pitch. Playing against, again, some more great competition. And we've kind of found our feet a lot at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, I would say. And I think we've found ourselves playing some really good cricket in the last 3-4 games, to be honest.
When you say our brand, what is the Scotland brand of cricket?
I think you'd find it quite an aggressive nature. Enjoy our cricket. You see a lot of our guys looking like we have a great time on the field because a lot of us have played together for a number of years now. Yeah, we get quite a lot of enjoyment out of playing together as a unit, and obviously, yeah, there's an aggressive nature about the way we want to play our cricket. You saw that kind of the way we do things across the 50 over format as well. We kind of like to play things on the front foot rather than be too defensive.
So what do you take out of those 50 over games? They didn't go so well.
No.
Let's just say Scotland didn't go so well in the 50 over games. That's fair.
Yeah.
But what do you take out of those games that can kind of help you go forward when you looked at those qualifiers in June in Zimbabwe?
I guess a bit of a humbling experience coming over and not performing very well. From top to bottom, I don't think anyone particularly put their hand up too much in the first game. I think some guys put their hand up and got a nice 30, but again, 30 is not going to win the games of cricket going into qualifiers, but it's an experience that we know we can pull back on if we need to. If times get tough, we know we're here as a group, we've done it as a group, so it's actually kind of, it hasn't like pulled us apart, that tough experience. It's almost made it a little bit stronger as well, knowing that we've gone through it together and that it doesn't matter if one game goes badly, we've still got another X amount of games to put it right.
And that's one of the things I've been talking to the other guys, just the actual lack, because you looked a bit rusty in certainly the bit that I saw. Everyone just looked a bit rusty, but that's coming from like not playing any cricket or
you
doing anything.
could say that. We had a series in Nepal probably a month before this, and then a lot of us hadn't picked up the bat ball. We got told to kind of have a month away from cricket, and kind of, because we'd had a really busy schedule from the T20 World Cup to Namibia to Nepal, all happened very quickly. So we kind of got told just do train if you want to train, kind of put your feet up if you also want to. So guys various guys did different things. For me, I had a bit of a week of T10 cricket, which probably didn't help either, trying to then go back and play 50 over cricket. So so different guys did different things, and now I think we're finding our feet in a good way.
When you talk about that run you had, I mean, let's talk about the T20 World Cup in Australia. You were an instrumental part of that win over the West Indies. The spin twins did it for Scotland, and you had George taking apart the bowling a bit as well. How was that, I guess, a high point for you in your career? Because you've had some pretty big wins over big teams, but that was in the World Cup.
Definitely, I think for me personally it was, because I actually contributed in that game as well, not just been a part of it. I actually was almost helped out with Watty and the bowling unit to close out the game in a way, which was a really satisfying moment for me, knowing that I can do it against the big boys with the ball as well, not just have a cameo with a bat in these big games or whatever. It's actually I've played a big part in a game with the ball, which really kind of gives you a lot of confidence going forward, knowing that you've done it against who were meant to be the top runners in our group, and we kind of put a statement out there, and it kind of just shows that was exactly what I'm talking about with our cricket. We kind of wanted to make that statement of we're not just here we're not the only associate in our group, we're actually here to win the group. Okay, it didn't work out, but yeah.
I mean, you've sort of been modest there too, and sort of playing down the role that you've played, because as you know, I'm very researched before I do any interview, and you are the first and only Scottish man to have scored 1,000 runs and taken 50 wickets in ODIs. Is that right?
Yeah, as far as I believe, yeah. It's quite something.
As far as I believe.
Something I don't even quite believe I've done. I've managed to get to that milestone. It's something I probably wanted to tick off. Was a few things on the bucket list, and that was probably 2 of them. Still 1 to go, but still got plenty of time to do it. Okay, so what's the 1? I want a 5 for Scotland as well. I've had the 100, got the 1,050 wickets now. I just want the 5 for at some point in a Scotland shirt, I think. What would your celebration be like? Oh, I don't think you'd be able to stop me. I don't think you'd be able to stop me. Nah, I think it'd be probably just quite happy that what I've achieved in Scotland shirt, I think, to be honest. It's something that has eluded me a couple of times. I've managed to get 4 a couple of times, but just never the magic 5th, but it'll happen at some point, I'm sure. Oh yeah, definitely, I'm sure too. Now, because there was a stage, we were talking the other day about the pandemic and sort of how difficult that was for people, but in a way, it's sort of, you came out of the pandemic and then hit some fantastic form. Yeah, the pandemic was probably the best thing that could have happened. Not for a lot of people in the world. No, not for a lot of people. Look, I mean, it was a chance for me to reset everything in my cricket, because I think I was at a point where I wasn't playing my best cricket. I was probably not going to be going on the next tour, which I'd been told, which kind of hit a bit hard and kind of allows you a chance to reflect, and a lot of different things changed during COVID for me as well. But I know in a chance to actually get away from cricket, and when you come back, you want to come back a little bit more rejuvenated and actually want to put the wrongs right, if that makes sense as well. And for me, it was a massive opportunity to show how much I'd learned in that 2 years off cricket, not just from a personal development, actually like growing up maybe a wee bit as well, probably slightly immature at that point, still at the age I was. And now it was almost like there was a sense of it's not just cricket out there. There's a lot more to life than just cricket, which opened up a lot of good things for me as well, like in terms of the way I played, the way I do things. Just I'm a lot more probably relaxed about if I fail, if I do well. There's a lot more like levelness rather than up and down.
Weren't you originally, before you sort of really started being serious about cricket, were you an accountant? Or? No,
not quite. I was working in the bank. So I worked in the bank for 5 years to try and make cricket happen. But just again, you don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. So I didn't go to uni, wasn't quite academic like that. So sister was thankfully a bank manager, and she managed to get me a full-time job, and lucky enough to do that for 5 years, and which helped me kind of understand a slightly different aspect of life and know it's, again, not all just cricket, but when you get your chance, it's lucky enough to have been in a Scotland shirt now for 10 years, which is something I hold pretty thankful for.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of immature, when you go to your Cricinfo profile page, was that photo taken when you were about 13? Quite
possibly. Well, I think I was probably 25, to be honest. I look 13 at 25. I probably don't look much older now, to be honest.
You look like a baby in that photo.
I probably don't look much older now. I'm aging well, thankfully.
If he says so himself. I'll take that back about you being too modest. Well, tell me about this seal pup thing, because I see it on people call you seal pup, or they put little emojis of a seal and a puppy there.
Yeah.
What is that nickname about?
It came about at 15 Scotland, under 15s. Just we were warming down in the pool at the end of the day, and I was bald head like I am now. Decided I didn't like my haircut, whatever, at that age, and cut it all off. And one of the guys, when I popped my head out of the water, obviously no hair, looked about 10 years old probably at that stage, and looked like a little seal, so they started calling me it from 15 years old. So it's kind of unfortunately stuck for me. I keep getting asked these questions everywhere we go now, but I guess it's one of the slightly better ones you could get. It's not the end of the world.
Well, just now everyone who sees this video will be sending you emojis of seals and
quite
puppies.
Quite possibly.
So, how do you think you're shaping up then ahead of the qualifiers? Because you've now had these games, but it sort of looks like you've been coming together a bit, even though playing T20 cricket, and then you're going to get together in South Africa. Obviously, be hoping that you get George back, but you've lost some big players.
Yeah.
Callum McLeod and Kyle Coates are gone. So how's the team shaping up?
Yeah, look, I mean, Callum, big shoes to fill, but I think we've got the talent in our youngsters. This experience for them is massive. It gives them a chance to play against some serious opposition and kind of get a little bit of experience under the belt and allow them the chance to play alongside like Barrow, Manns, as you say, Crossy, and pick their brains as well. If things aren't going quite right or things are going well, they can still pick their brains, and it's a chance for guys just to really express themselves and figure out how they want to play. So if they do get called upon in the qualifiers, they've had that little bit of experience, and it's not like foreign coming aside and you're with Barrow or you're with George or whoever. As for Georgia, I hope the recovery goes pretty well, and he's a massive instrumental part of our side, and fingers crossed that all goes well. So yeah, with George, we need George as much as he's a big character in our group, to be fair, George. So yeah, we'd like to see him get back fit and quick.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone will. Well, thank you for that. Look, honestly, he's such a nice guy. He's so nice that he actually just showed me pictures of this awesome bar that he went to last night, because he knew that I would be really jealous that I wasn't there. In fact, made me swipe through them all just to make me feel worse. That's so thoughtful. You're so thoughtful, considerate, and not at all talkative.
No, not at all.
He's all right. And I'm as tall as him when we're sitting down. That's the main thing that we're going to take out of this.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Mel. It's been brilliant.
That was so insincere.
Oh, give over. Give over.
Ah.